Welcome to another installment of Deconstructing Babylon, where we discern the signs and symbols of the mystery religion of Hollywood Babylon. I'm the Discerning Clerk, and I use a biblical framework to deconstruct my favorite movies and your recommendations. I know I'm not alone in thinking and feeling that the world is rapidly changing. I don't watch legacy media, but every day there seems to be some new crisis, new distraction, more fear-mongering, or celebrity scandal. God's word, Yahuwah himself and the Messiah, tell us who trust him not to be afraid. Do not be distracted by the fear-mongering the world puts out constantly, but keep your eyes fixed on the Messiah, the author and perfecter of our faith. It's why I always point back to the truth found in God's word and implore you to know the word for yourself and pray for all the scattered saints who have been called according to the name of the Most High. The Met Gala happened recently, and much of the response and rhetoric surrounding it relates directly back to today's selection, the Hunger Games. People are feeling more divided than ever, and more stretched and put upon by the Capitol, especially those who relate to District 12 specifically. So I thought this was as good a time as any to deconstruct the dystopian story. The Hunger Games was released in 2012, rated PG-13, and scores an average IMDb user rating of 7.2 out of 10.
Rose Everdeen. I volunteer! I volunteer as tribute. We have a volunteer.
Welcome to the 74th Annual Hunger Games! From District 12, Katniss Everdeen, the girl of fire!
We salute your courage and your sacrifice.
There's 24 of us, Gale. Only one comes out.
You're stronger than they are, and you know how to hunt.
You really want to know how to stay alive? You have to make people like you.
Hope, it is the only thing stronger than fear.
I'll figure something out. Trust me.
Make sure they remember you.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
You can do this. They have to have their victory.
You have to win.
I'm not gonna leave you.
Go!
You could win.
Together?
Together.
Let's not forget this is a novel adaptation, originally intended for a young adult audience. Considering the plot and themes, it screams grooming to me. But let's see what they show us in The Hunger Games. The movie starts with some treaty rules, consequences for an historical uprising that was considered treasonous by the powers that be.
I think it's something that knits us all together.
We begin in the Capitol with a televised interview between TV personality Caesar Flickerman and the game maker Seneca Crane. Cut to District 12, which is as far away as you can get from the Capitol. We meet our main contestant, Katniss Everdeen, and her younger sister, Primrose. The nation is now called Panem, split up into districts that specialize in exports to the capital. District 12 is the coal district, hard, dirty work in what used to be the Appalachian Mountains. Early in the morning on Reaping Day, Katniss escapes to the forest and, using her hidden bow and arrows, she hunts for her family's next meal.
What are you gonna do with a 100-pound deer, Catnip?
She meets up with Gale Hawthorne, a dear friend who grew up with Katniss and helps her family. Preparations in the districts have already begun, including a representative arriving from the capital. In the case of District 12, it's Effie Trinket, who sticks out garishly among the poorer citizens, but is a marvelous ambassador of the capital. The reapings are televised events, broadcast to the capital, all leading up to and including the Hunger Games.
If no one watches, then they don't have a game. It's as simple as that.
All the children gather in the district center, preparing for the worst lottery of their lives. Effie Trinket takes the stage and shows a propaganda film to the terrified teens.
This is how we safeguard our future.
I just love that.
Effie randomly selects the name of one boy and one girl to travel to the capital and compete to the death in the Hunger Games. From the girls, Effie happens to choose Katniss's sister, Prim. And Katniss will do whatever she can to protect her sibling.
I volunteer as tribute.
From the boys, a young man, the same age as Katniss, the baker's son, Peeta Mellark. This is almost certain death for the tributes, as there can only be one victor out of 24 contestants. Peeta and Katniss board a luxurious high-speed train that brings them to the capital. Of course, Effie is with them, but so too is the only victor from District 12 in Hunger Games past, a drunk named Haymitch.
Embrace the probability of your imminent death. And know, in your heart, that there's nothing I can do to save you.
Haymitch is meant to mentor these young people and give them advice on how to stay alive as long as possible. Though he doubts their ability to survive the brutality of the games, he does tell them that gaining wealthy sponsors through their likability and marketability would certainly help.
And right now, sweetheart, you're not off to a real good start.
It's life and death for the tributes, but for the viewers, it's a highly anticipated show. All the tributes arrive in the capital and begin the pregame. They are given stylists, and this is their time to appeal to sponsors for favor, to show what they're capable of in the arena. Katniss' stylist is Cinna, and he becomes a true friend to her.
Yeah, but I'm not very good at making friends.
We'll see.
The elite gather for the tribute parade, and seated at the helm is the illustrious President Snow. Bringing up the rear of the parade are Peeta and Katniss, who have been stunningly styled to appear on fire, which makes the crowd go wild.
People are sure going to be paying attention to them right now.
The tributes begin their training, not just weapons, but also survival skills and problem solving. The large personalities among the tributes clash, and we learn the teens from Districts 1 and 2 are trained for the Hunger Games and look forward to volunteering to compete.
Obviously, they're pretty good. They win it almost every year, but...
We know that Peeta and Katniss are going to give duality. Yet here they are, showing Katniss in yellow for the sun and Peeta in blue for the moon, which seems backwards to me. Or maybe I should say, inverted. At their evaluations, Katniss gets a chance to showcase her archery skills. The symbolism of the apple and the pig are fascinating. The unclean animal the elites all feast on represents their uncleanness. The apple, a representation of their lawlessness, hearkening back to the forbidden fruit eaten in the garden.
Nice shooting, sweetheart.
After Katniss receives the highest rating of all the tributes from the Game Maker, she becomes the fan favorite as well, known as the Girl on Fire.
Ladies and gentlemen from District 12, Katniss 17, the girl on fire!
As Peeta takes the stage for his final interview, he confesses he's had a crush on Katniss for a long time. As Katniss watches on, I couldn't help but notice the clock behind her that so briefly shows the hands pointing to 9/11.
Now, I can sell the star-crossed lovers from District 12.
The next day, the games begin, and nobody really knows what the setting will be like. The game maker, Seneca, has worked tirelessly to create something challenging for the contestants and engaging for the audience. Another clock shot right before Katniss goes in. This one shows the time of 5:55. I've not talked about this symbolism before because it hasn't come up yet, at least not that I've noticed. Typically in movies, all the made-up phone numbers start with 555, so we know it's a number group the mystery religion likes to use. Well, we don't often use an alphanumeric keypad like we used to, but 555 equals KKK. It feels like a direct reference to the white supremacist group, and maybe in this case, the capital elites are all just rich white men. When the games begin, tributes from District 1 and 2 immediately take out as many kids as they can, while the others make a run for it.
There's the familiar boom of the cannon, which marks the end of another fallen tribute.
More than a cannon, the faces of the fallen tributes appear in the night sky of the arena, as if they are also fallen stars. Peeta appears to have joined forces with the vicious career tributes to help them find and kill Katniss.
He's our best chance of finding her.
But Katniss is very good at staying hidden, which doesn't make for very interesting television. So the game maker must intervene to keep her involved in the game and off the fringes. A consuming fire redirects her but also injures her, yet she still manages to outrun the career tributes.
Let's just wait her out.
Haymitch manages to secure some burn ointment for Katniss as the others wait to kill her. Early in the morning, as they sleep, Katniss sees young Rue hiding out in a nearby tree. Rue directs Katniss to a large hive she can cut down to scatter the awaiting opponents.
For those of you who don't know, tracker jackers are genetically engineered wasps whose venom causes searing pain, powerful hallucinations, and, in extreme cases, death.
For those who don't know, I believe wasps are the enemy's counterfeit of helpful and necessary bees. Her plan works, and she also secures a bow and arrow. But after being stung, Katniss hallucinates until she passes out.
How long was I asleep?
A couple of days. I changed your leaves twice.
Katniss teams up with Rue, desiring to protect the younger girl, who reminds her of her sister Prim. When Katniss goes to destroy the stockpile, we get more apples, which work to activate landmines and explode the paradise they've built for themselves. Symbolic, no? In her absence, Rue gets trapped, then killed, which devastates Katniss. Rue's death and Katniss's compassionate response cause an uprising in Rue's District 11, and the capital must respond.
So you like an underdog?
Everyone likes an underdog.
I don't.
They announce that 2 victors from the same district only may be awarded, giving Katniss hope to now save Peeta. She finds him injured, but still alive. They need the magical ointment, and for that, they need sponsors. Katniss plays up their relationship for the camera in order to get the help they need.
No, there's no way I'm letting you go.
Peeta.
Please.
Instead of sponsors, the Game Master provides what each tribute needs, a ploy to bring them out of hiding and get down to the final one. Or 2.
Peeta. I got it. I got the medicine.
The producers shorten the days and nights to get to the end quicker. Peeta is healed, but there are still 3 other tributes in the game. The wily redhead eats poisonous berries, and Katniss thinks they can get the last surviving career tribute the same way. Also alive is Rue's partner from District 11. Eventually, Seneca pushes the threat by introducing a trio of deadly dogs.
What was that?
It's the finale.
The dogs take out Rue's partner and then chase Peeta and Katniss to the center of the arena. Even fictional, genetically modified dogs symbolize God, using the occultic law of reversal. Since there are 3, I'm inclined to think this is a reference to the Trinity and the righteous judgment coming at the end. A final battle ensues, 2 versus 1, until 2 remain, both from District 12, both rightful victors.
The previous revision, allowing for 2 victors from the same district, has been revoked.
Katniss will not give the capital the satisfaction and threatens to kill them both with the poisonous berries.
Together?
This threat forces the hand of the producers, and Peeta and Katniss both get to leave. 2 towers, both standing. This injustice will not stand with President Snow. Someone must pay, and it will be the game maker, Seneca. Yet the star-crossed lovers narrative must continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, the star-crossed lovers from District 12, this year's victors!
President Snow makes sure they know he will not be made to look like a fool, and the final image is Snow climbing some stairs. Of course, this is not the end, but just the beginning, and I won't deconstruct the subsequent stories for now. So even though this film is a book adaptation, we have to look at it at its own merit, like its own story apart from the original novel. However, there were a few things I wanted to bring up about the original YA book series as the author intended and filmmakers tried to include. Suzanne Collins, who wrote the books, wanted to portray the capital as ancient Rome, the opulence, the debauchery, and the gladiator games reimagined as the Hunger Games. This is why we have characters with names such as Caesar, Claudius, and Seneca. It also speaks to the idea that Rome never fell, it just went underground and still lies at the heart of the elites who rule the nations. Now, it is my belief that the rule and reign of the Roman Catholic Church still proves that Rome never fell, but just put on a shroud of religion. They still oppress the people, they still reward and protect the elites, and they live off the backs of the poor. And this is exactly what they show us in the Hunger Games: the oppression, the protection, and the lawlessness. The nation has been renamed Panem, made up of the 12 districts across the country, who all send their resources to support the capital. Panem stands for a control tactic used by the Roman Empire called Panem et Circenses, or bread and circuses. Cheap food and dangerous entertainment to control and satiate the masses. Yet it is the people who live in the capital who are subject to the bread and circuses. Their lavish lifestyle is completely funded by the 12 districts, and their entertainment also comes from the tributes from each district. So, who's actually being oppressed? When I consider the 12 districts, I think about the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 sons of Jacob, and the 12 disciples. Because in subsequent films, we learn about a 13th district, and there were ultimately 13 sons of Jacob, 13 disciples, including Paul, and even 13 tribes with the inclusion of the Gentile believers. But we haven't gotten there yet. For now, we just have 12. The 12th son of Jacob was Benjamin, who was his favorite, born to his favorite wife Rachel, along with Benjamin's brother Joseph, whose older brother sold him to Egypt and told their father he was dead. District 12 was by no means the favorite of the capital, but it grew to be as it produced the first double winners of the Hunger Games. The people throughout all the districts gained a newfound respect for the oft-forgotten coal district up in the Appalachian Mountains. Even the symbolism of coal has biblical meaning, as the prophet Isaiah was caught up to the throne room of the Most High, and the angels cleansed his mouth with a burning coal. In the Hunger Games, Katniss is clearly framed as an unlikely and unwilling savior. Though she risks her own life in place of her own sister, and she feigns romance with Peeta to survive the games, she does so almost out of spite for the capital. Where Peeta fears being changed by the luxury of the capital and the lure of popularity, Katniss would rather die than let them change her. But she isn't a messianic counterfeit. She's just one of two towers, and Peeta is the other. Now, as the story unfolds, more is revealed. But I think it's safe to say that President Snow is the villainized version of the Most High. He has ultimate authority. He is set apart from everyone else, and he doesn't have a Romanized name like everyone else in the capital. It seems like he appoints the game makers, like prophets, and if they don't carry out his will, they are disposed of. Now, he does wear the dual black and white, and is signified by white roses, which we learn about in the next film. But here, he is untouchable, in charge, and will not have his authority challenged. Finally, the arena for the games is a model of the flat earth with firmament above and below. It is a closed system that is controlled by the ones appointed by the president, trusted to the game maker. The sun and moon are in their control. The disasters and resources are in their control. Even all the beasts and creatures are in their control. I'm sure there's much more I could say, and lots that I missed, but I'll leave it at that. Thank you for enduring to the end. Give the video a thumbs up if you agree, and a thumbs down if you disagree. Remember, these are just my opinions, and I'd love to hear yours in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more content like this, but don't follow me. Follow the one who saves you. And until next time, keep looking up.
My heart stopped. Did any of you experience this as well? My heart stopped.